I came to Memphis to be with this amazing parent organization called the Memphis Lift, led by the one and only Sarah Carpenter. Oh my God, I love being around Miss Sarah. You know, I didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with my paternal grandmother. She passed away when I was kind of young, but I just didn't get a lot of time with her. But she reminds me so much of her, just her spirit, her spunk. In Memphis, the things that we're gonna do, I'm gonna get to spend some time at that office, which is right in the middle of the hood, and I love that. It's gorgeous. I can't really describe it. You just gotta look at it and just be with some of her amazing parents. Better understand the work that they do and get to see them in their environment. We're gonna visit a school, talk to some people, and then on Saturday, it's gonna be this big it's a relaunch. It's a reopening since COVID shut everything down. And so I get to be one of the speakers, and I'm just extremely honored to do that. That's what I am doing in Memphis.
For my 90s niggas. Ha. For y'all niggas.
I'm so proud of y'all.
It's the beginning. Come on.
Here, let me follow you. Go ahead.
All right. This is the 18.
Okay.
You might know him. And this is our public advocate class. I'm going back. They never have hot sauce. Now I've been doing the whole entire summer without hot sauce. The whole summer without hot sauce.
And how you feel about Church's hot sauce?
I love it.
Day one of this trip was incredible. I got in. It was an early flight. Came to this gorgeous hotel. The Central Station Hotel in downtown Memphis is incredible. You know, got checked in, did some work, was pretty tired, but then I headed over to the Memphis Lift offices, and it was incredible. When you pull up, they got this old school sign from it looks like it came out of the 40s or the 50s. It's like hand painted and says the Memphis Lift. It looks like this house is a converted daycare center, and it's right in the middle of the community, and I love it. And then lo and behold, Miss Sarah Carpenter the local news was coming to interview her because of some stuff happening in education in Memphis. This Fresh Start program where a superintendent feels that the schools are just failing and basically is forcing every single teacher in said schools, whatever schools were designated, to reapply. Obviously, there's been a big conversation happening in the community around that. So I'm there, I'm just doing work. Boom, I watched Miss Sarah do her interview. She did a great job.
Leadership matters. I mean, sometimes it's the leadership in the school. It ain't the teacher.
I'm doing my work, and Sarah's like, we got Dr. Charles Cole from Chicago, Oakland, and Kentucky. Let me tell you something about this lady. She's not asking you to do something, she's telling you to do it. So, but I spoke based off of what I knew. I didn't speak on those teachers because I hadn't seen any data. I didn't know enough there to comment on that. But what I did say was, you do have to have a hierarchy when you are working for education and young people.
Education advocates we spoke with say children should be first. Dr. Charles Cole says there should be a hierarchy in the school system. He says that hierarchy does not start with administration.
Students, their parents, the community, then the school structure, which is teachers and admin and things like that. If you do not have a ranking system and you start negotiating with the lives of children, then you've already lost. Got back to my hotel again, was exhausted, but just had a whole bunch of work to do. And you still gotta knock stuff out. A lot of times people will show you them having a good time or whatever, but not the hours and hours and hours of boring stuff, or I read something every day. I'm doing some type of research every single day. And I would suggest anybody that loves their craft, whatever that craft may be, to always be seeking to learn more, improve on what you have, and learn new things. That was the end of day one. It was really cool. The end of day two, another great day. Woke up instantly, got to work. It's a Friday, it's the end of the week, but there's a lot of things to do. We're working on our reports in Oakland and in Milwaukee. And then head over We had the school visit today. It was inside of this old Sears building that's been completely repurposed, and it's a whole bunch of new stores in there and a lot of eatery places, and lo and behold, there's a high school, and it's gorgeous. It really is beautiful. It's such a beautiful building, and how they've kind of captured a moment in time, infused it with new things, is beautiful. We talked to some young people there, and we saw all these new ways of teaching, these new ways of learning. They're not ushered through the building, you know what I mean? Like, they kind of have just free range of motion. The school is intentionally built like a college campus with, you know, furniture throughout the hallways and places like where people can study and do work and you know, kind of be in and out of classes. And, you know, it requires a certain level of maturity, and when you trust young people and you treat them like adults, sometimes they, you know, I think that they really step up to the plate. And when they described how this education felt, when they described the difference of it, when they described the freedom, it was just something really beautiful, and it's something that I wish all kids, especially all black kids, could experience, because my high school experience was not like that. I've traveled and visited a lot of schools, and a lot of the schools that I did go to as a student did feel like jail. It looked like a jail. It wasn't well lit. Food didn't taste good. It was officers and security guards like in the hallways, you know what I mean? But visited that school, we had this amazing lunch together, and then we broke out, kind of did our own thing. I had to go get some work done, and then I went and saw the city, went to Bill Street and took some pictures. But the plan was we would all meet back at the Memphis Lift office at 7 to have dinner together. So Miss Sarah, because she's super classy, does not like us taking Uber. And this story is why you should listen to your elders. She does not like us taking Uber. She likes to have somebody come pick us up. And her staff is so accommodating. It's Friday, so I have my show, which is Common Grounds of Self-Determination, every Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, with Omar and David. So I had to do my show. And the car came, and it came to pick up you know, 2 of my other colleagues, and they were waiting, and I'm like, man, I'm wrapping this up. I need to, like, you know, do some post-show stuff. Y'all go ahead, I'll take an Uber. Let's fast forward. About 30 minutes after that, I'm finally ready to go. I get my Uber. Uber driver is super cool. He's like, hey, you mind if I stop and get some gas? No problem. So as we're turning in, we get sideswiped by a big rig. Crazy. Like, it was an accident. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too crazy. Listen, man, in the last few weeks, me, cars, and police have just been destined to meet and spend quality time together. But we had to wait for the police and all that. And then that ordeal took about maybe 35, 40 minutes. But luckily, everybody was okay. It wasn't that bad. I'm being a little dramatic. My Uber driver, Greg, was super cool. And just to celebrate life after that, after surviving that. Once I finally got to my destination, he was done driving for the night. We just had to share a drink.
Greg is my Uber driver. Let's see the damage. What was the damage?
It's right here.
Let me see it. So
It's just dust.
yeah. So we got sideswiped by a damn semi truck. But we okay. But we about to. Greg is alright. I'm okay, and we about to.
And I got his back, baby. I got Greg and Charles back.
Greg is now my friend for life. And whenever I come to Memphis, it's Greg. It's me and you, brother. Finally get back to the Memphis Lift offices. Greg joins the party. We all have a drink together. You see Sarah Carpenter jumps into the picture. I'm so blessed to be able to speak, and I'm blessed. I love speaking everywhere. I love speaking in colleges. I love speaking in theaters. I love speaking in small rooms. But it's something different about speaking, like, with your people, like in the environment that you kind of grew up in as a kid. Like, this was basically like almost like a backyard boogie type situation. And it just was a party last night. Laughing, man. We just laughed and laughed and laughed. You know what? That's an idea. I want to organize a speaking tour that is all just like backyard, like barbecue-esque black folk day party, you know, type situations, man. You know, I want to see people playing spades and dominoes. I want to hear people, you know, talking shit to each other, man. Though that's the environment that I grew up in, and I love it. Nothing compares to being in an environment that feels like home. That was day 2, man. A lot happened, didn't it? All right, well, ready for day 3. Let's see how this goes. Final day of this Memphis trip. Get up early, head over to the Memphis Lift offices, and you get there, it's just bustling, man. Just the community's out, and it's like half a block just even before you get to the offices. There's so many people, like people from that community, and it was just awesome to see. There's bouncy houses being put up. You know, they were feeding people inside the offices. It was great. Miss Sarah allows me to use her office because my Black Men's Book Club, when COVID hit, we went from talking once a month to every single Saturday. So I can't miss that. That's almost therapy for me. After that, go out and the program starts. Oh, and Miss Sarah starts off by they got this check from Mackenzie Scott. It's about $1.5 million, and they are gonna use it to build a parent resource center on the lot where they had the bouncy houses, and it was beautiful. And there was a family there that Miss Sarah knew, and they had an amazing matriarch. She was shot in the head. And so they're going to, it was a really sad but sweet and beautiful moment. So Miss Sarah and them are gonna name that parent resource center after them, and their family got to be there for it. It was beautiful. Then got up to do my talk. And here's the thing that a lot of people don't know about my talks. I'll jot down some notes or some key things that I wanna hit, but then I just kind of go. Like I kind of black out and just do it. I try as much as I can to get lost in the moment. Here's my philosophy on it. I try to build a really good foundation. Here's how I'm thinking about this. Here's how I feel about this. Here's my non-negotiables. I try to make sure that my foundation is solid, and I try to build a few bullet points. I really only try to stay in the lane that I know. It's not something I've ever been nervous on, but here's a tip that I would give you. Stick to the things you know, and if you do have to veer off, you ask for grace. You just say, you know what, I'm still learning about this, or here's how my thinking is evolving. The type of crowd that we were talking to, those are my people. That's where I am most comfortable. It was where it's how I grew up. It's being back in my grandmother's place. It's being at my aunt's house in Oakland before she passed, and everybody had to come over to the barbecue and people just talking, and folks are playing dominoes and spades. Like, that's my environment. I think there's a lot of people in my field that are not comfortable in those environments speaking. I don't remember every point that I made, but I do remember the emotions that came back to me from it, which was a blessing.
It's something that God ordained. And what God has ordained can't no man get in the way of. It don't matter if it's sickness, it don't matter if it's gunshots, it don't matter if it's this jacked up education system. That woman is about love.
Do that, hang out there with those folks a little bit. And then I got to go out and see, some people. Memphis reminds me a lot of Paducah, Kentucky, just around, once you get out of the city part of it, it's just real country. And I like that. And I remember as a kid, I don't know, I felt like it was maybe desolate as a kid. But the older I get and the more that I've seen the world, and I appreciate it a lot more. Like, those are the type of places that I actually want to retire at. Those are the places that I actually want to settle, where it's a little slower. It's a little, people are more intentional. Conversations happen. It's less transactional. And then after that, that evening, we went to Beale Street, and it was popping. It was a lot of people. It's a lot. It can be a lot. It can be a little overwhelming. And I was definitely ready to get back at the end of the night. The Carpenter family took such good care of me, took me out, and I'm eternally grateful. And I will come back to this place at the drop of a hat. For me, coming to places like Memphis, Cleveland, Kentucky, the Midwest on into like this, the beginning of the South, like, that's my area. Those are my people. I'm very grateful. And that was my Memphis trip. And before I get too much in this moment, I need to cut this off because I have a plane to go catch, and I'm not about that run through the airport life. So, thank y'all, and I hope you've enjoyed this vlog and this footage. The better question is, are you okay with failing? Are you okay with losing? If you can answer those things as yes, then I would say run like hell. Start running right now. Stop waiting for folks.